Hi, my name is Chad Beck. I'm an attorney with Robert Freeman and Associates, and I'd like to talk to everyone today about a child's claim for Social Security benefits, or as it's defined as child's claim for SSI benefits. Just very briefly, to give you an idea as to what this is, it's essentially a needs-based program for children who have disabilities. And so there are two components to a child's claim. There is a financial side, which means that a child has to have the financial eligibility to qualify for benefits. And of course, they also have to have the medical side and a disabling medical condition. Without going into all the technical details of what financially is involved, essentially, and for most parents, what the issue is taking into consideration their income and determining whether their income allows eligibility for their child to be found disabled in the first place. If that threshold requirement is not met, Social Security does not even evaluate the medical side and whether or not a child is medically disabled. And in terms of the medical criteria and what that process involves, there are three ways that a child can be found disabled. The first way looks to and asks whether or not a child meets the medical requirements of broad categories of disability called the listings. And there are 14 different categories of listings. There is also a category for mental health impairments, for instance, and one of the things that I see very frequently and representing the child's claims that I have is ADHD. There is a separate section for that, for example. The other way is by looking and asking whether or not the child medically equals a category of impairment. So one of the listings, if a child does not have these specific criteria that a listing requires, the other question to that is whether or not the combined impairments are medically at a sufficient level of severity to be considered to be equivalent to what those categories require. There are also, and the final way is by examining domains of functioning. There are 6 different domains of functioning that Social Security examines when looking to a child's activity level. There is acquiring and using information. There is attending and completing tasks, interacting and relating with others, manipulating and moving about manipulating objects, health and physical well-being, and caring for yourself. So what Social Security asks is whether or not a child is either markedly limited in 2 of those different domains or extremely limited in one of the domains. And those are the 3 primary ways a child can be found disabled. There are 2 other issues that are important in my view in understanding when discussing a child's claim for benefits. If you or your spouse have a combined income that precludes eligibility from a financial standpoint, one of the things to keep in mind is that there is an auxiliary program of disability benefits called Child Benefits. This is a disability program that uses the work history of a parent as a basis for a child to receive disability benefits down the road. And the requirements of that are that the adult, the parent whose benefit or work record is being used is either disabled or deceased, and the child has to be found disabled before the age of 22. This is an important program to keep in mind for parents who know that while a child is not eligible for Social Security SSI benefits because of income, that down the road there is another option that may be a viable option for a child once the child reaches adulthood and has those factors that I just described.